Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, your place for news and gameplay. Some good, some bad, and let's be honest, like there's some raging tilting. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. Today's episode, we're taking a look at some more test server action. Specifically this test server, we're only looking at the Avalanche, which is the heavy version of the Tulumbus, and the Hussar, which is the medium version of the Dragoon. The Igniter, for some reason, is not in this test server, so we're only looking at those two additional weapons. So to quickly look at my hangar here, what I'm going to be running, I'm going to be running the Falcon, which I haven't run very much. I have a Falcon on my own account, but it just didn't seem to be working very much with me. But with a pilot, so you can actually do some interesting things with it. So I have 3 glories on it, but I'm only ever going to be using 1 glory, and here's why. So if I go into my pilot, I have various standard ones of durability and weapon increases, but I put the traditional list on here where it says the Falcon's durability increases, but its active ability becomes unavailable. So I no longer have access to the 3 weapons. I no longer have access to the Fangzant mode. I no longer have access to be able to jump. However, I have an increased durability of additional 50%. So the 2 glories I have in Fangzant mode will do absolutely nothing for me. I'll only be using the 1 glory in the middle slot. So that being said, I want to make sure that this bot has as much durability as possible, as well as much damage increase as possible. So I do have the increased durability on it. I've increased its weapon damage. I've ensured that there's some healing on here, so it repairs a portion every second. I decided to go with the glory has an increased shot grouping, so that if I'm shooting targets at a little bit longer range, then I have a better chance of doing more damage. And also at shorter range, or relatively short, 100, 150 meters, most of the shots should hit. I also have, after capturing a beacon, the Falcon has increased resistance for 30 seconds. So if I happen to grab a beacon, not only do I have the increased durability of 50%, but I also have resistance on top of that. And I also want to make sure that the Falcon has increased speed, because we're going to be going against things like Ares and Blitz and other things like that. So I want to make sure I have a little bit more speed in this bot. So if I go to my next one, I want to be able to test the Avalanche, so just threw them on a Fury. I haven't liked the Avalanche so far. I don't expect to like it this time, but we'll see. Standard skills for this pilot. Again, increase durability, make sure I'll be able to repair over time, increase speed, increase weapon damage. So if I go back to my hangar here and I look at my next spot, I have the Ares, and I put the 2 Marquess and 2 Hussar on it, running last stand and 2 thermal nuclear reactors. I didn't put anti-control on this because the idea is I'm going to be trying to hit things from range. So even if I do happen to get locked down and suppressed, I'm far enough away it shouldn't matter too much. Looking at the pilot, I have increased damage, again another repair, increased durability. These are all pretty standard things that most people will likely put on their pilots. I put on here all effects of the active modules on the Ares last longer. So I'm using lockdown ammo on this particular bot, so I wanted to ensure that any lockdown effects I inflict on another target actually last a little bit longer. If I look at my next bot, I chose to run the Hades with the Blaze and an Ember. This is going to be a little bit more of a brawling setup. So I do have the anti-control on here, and the last stand, and a thermal nuclear reactor. And again, with most of my bots, I have a little bit of healing, some speed, some durability, and weapon damage increases, as well as the increased ability damage. And finally, the last bot I put in my hangar. I want to make sure I have a little bit of a beacon runner, so I put in the Blitz, running 4 Spark. Again, since I'm going to be brawling a little bit with this, I'm going to have the anti-control and the last stand, and I put the armor kit on it. And looking at the pilot here, I have the repair, so that whenever I use the ability, the Blitz repairs a portion of its HP. I have increased weapon damage, and since I have 4 Spark on here, it was a good choice to put increased spark damage. Have the increased weapon damage as well, an additional increased weapon damage, but the durability has been lowered. And so to offset that, I put in the increased durability skill. I also have the energy shield has been increased, and its speed is increased since it is going to be my main beacon runner. So that is my current hangar. So without any further ado, let's get into the action. Alright, here we go. Domination. So it's Domination, so let's start with the Blitz first. See if we can grab a beacon or two here. Let's go over to the left-hand side. Use my special ability here just to get my increased speed. Run over here, grab this beacon, and we'll see what we have on the enemy team over there. Just be a little bit cautious. Let's go in and see if we can get somebody in range. I'll have to remember I have lockdown ammo on this thing, so I can actually lock down a target. I just want to be careful. There is a Greek bot over there, so I want to try if I can find him to get him to use his ability, but I think this is our Blitz right here in front of me. Okay, so I shouldn't have used my special ability there because his Aegis Shield just blocked it, but that's okay. I'll just roast him here. He has Last Stand. That's a lot of health left on the Last Stand. I didn't check in the test server. Maybe you could actually upgrade the modules. I might have to check that later. I didn't upgrade my modules. Usually in test server you can only get level 1 modules. Anyway, so we'll take out this Spectre here first. Actually, no, that's not Spectre. I think that might be the tier. So we have an Avalanche coming up here. Alright, so I'm probably going to die here. That's alright. So let's see what this Falcon can do. So if you remember, I don't have the Fangs Out mode in this. I have the skill. Oh great, we have a whole bunch of Lokis on the enemy team. We're supposed to be on the test server testing things. Why would you be trolling the test server with a whole bunch of Lokis? I'm just going to have to try to fire in this group here and try to keep a line of sight when they go into stealth. So maybe I can hit some of them. Right now I'm hitting that one guy that's in stealth because I have a lock on the other guy behind him. So keep trying to do that. My teammates will have to help a little bit out with these Lokis because I don't have any quantum radar. Actually, I'm not even sure if any of my bots have quantum radar. I didn't really expect to see very many Lokis, to be honest. I'm more interested in testing the weapons instead of just grabbing these beacons. There's another Loki. I'm just gonna follow him. I'm gonna stay on this beacon. Last thing I want is these Lokis to go around and just cap all the beacons, and then this ends up being like a 2 or 3 minute match. I'll stay here. I think he realizes I'm not going to get off this beacon. So there's an Alguin up there. So I think I'm just going to shoot him down if I can. There's an Alguang on the right hand side there as well. Take care of the Alkin here first. I still don't even know how to pronounce that name. I think it's Alkin, but I'm not sure. So there's the Lokis going. You can see in the background there. There's 3 of them just going to capping beacons. All right. Well, we're going to take this Falcon into the fray here and see how well it holds up. It should have quite a bit of resistance, and it does have a lot more HP with it, since I do have that skill set that disables the Fangs Out mode from additional HP. So right now we're getting hit with everything this Aojun can throw at us. I still haven't even used my healing module yet. I'm just going to sit here. I'd like to get him, but he's just going to play peekaboo. So just keep an eye on him. He'll add his flight back here soon. Okay, I have the Ares. I don't want to shoot him. Let him use his ability. Go ahead, try to shoot me as much as you can. I'm going to shoot you back. Now that your shield is done. There we go. The Ares is taken care of. The Aojun is hitting me again. I was countering healing. Now I gotta wait for my healing module to come back up. I'm down to about half health. So far they've thrown a lot at me, and I'm pretty happy with how this setup is turning out. There's a Hades there. I'll just get behind cover here. Just now that his shield's down, let's see if we can take him out. I was counter healing. And I'm being hit with Orkin fire, it looks like. And there's a Fenrir coming in. There's actually 2 Fenrirs there. Okay, well this is going to be a good test. I have maybe about only a third of my health left with 2 Fenrirs coming at me on the left-hand side here. And there's that Loki in the back there. He was trying to pick me off a little bit. I'm going to make him run away because I am able to hit him in stealth, so he's run away. Now, so I have these 2 Fenrirs on the left-hand side here. One's coming in, so we'll get his shield down if at all possible and start hitting him. And although I'm coming out here in line of fire, I'm going to have this other Fenrir trying to target me here. He's got Scourge and Calamity. So I'm just pew-pewing. The one Fenrir in the front is actually blocked with his Aegis shield. Now the other ones, they're swapping shields a little bit here, but I'm just going to keep trying to pew-pew them. If I could take at least one of them out, that'd be great. I must say though, this Falcon, it's holding up well. I've taken a lot of damage from a lot of bots. There's the one Fenrir down. There's another Fenrir, and I'm being hit with an Avalanche on the right-hand side here. So I'm not going to be able to survive this, but I must say, I took a heck of a lot of beating right there. So let's just throw in the Fury here. I just want to test the Avalanche. They apparently buffed it. I just don't know how much. I honestly, I doubt I'll ever run the Avalanche. Unless they significantly buffed it. I don't see that actually happen. Oh, he's just out of my range. I wanted to try to get in range and throw some splash in there, but... So there's an Aljan up there. If he land... No, he's going to land behind cover, so I won't be able to get him. If I can get this guy up here. I don't know if I can shoot over top of these buildings. Yeah, no, it's just hitting the building. So there's a Fenrir there. See, I just unloaded, probably half a round at him. I didn't even take out his shield. Now these Avalanche, I would not recommend using them. They still need to be significantly buffed. They definitely are not a brawling weapon, that's for sure. I'm just trying to move, make him hopefully miss some of the shots. I'll see if I can do some damage before taking it out. See, that was a full load, and he's just counter-healing with the advanced repair unit. So, the Avalanche can't even do any damage really against the advanced repair unit. So, bringing in my areas here, running the Hussar and Marquess. See if I can at least get somebody in range. Usually when I run in Ares, I put a Quantum Raider on here, which would have been beneficial for this match. But my idea for running the Hussar and the Marquess was to use them with lockdown ammo to lock down, just like I did right here, and then engage my special ability. Since I don't have any lockdown weapons on this spot, which is what most people will put on in Ares, at least a couple lockdown weapons. So I had to sacrifice that for having Quantum Radar. So I made that judgment call. I just wanted to see how it worked. But of course, going against all these Aojans, it would have been really beneficial to have Quantum Radar. So just put up my shield here. I didn't want to engage it yet. He's just going to land in cover, so I won't be able to get at him. So likely I'll die here. So I shouldn't have come down here. Now I'm just sitting duck for that Aojan in the on the left hand side. He's just going to wait for his ability to come back and probably come after me or maybe another guy over there. But I'm trying to get out of his line of sight. So if he'll hopefully pick off a different target instead of this one. So see if I can come up with, get another person here where I can hit. That's a Fenrir back there. And there's another self bot back there. See if I can't do any damage here. No, he's got a shield. Well, I took out somebody back there. I don't know who it was, but I took out somebody. Well, we're gonna definitely lose this. We've been 4 capped now. That's okay. It probably would have been actually a closer match had those Lokis not been running around on the enemy team. But it is what it is. At least I'm getting a decent match here for testing the weapons, which is my main objective. Okay, so at least I was able to test the Hussar as well as Avalanche. So let's just look at the tail of tapes and see how we did. Going over to the team stats, 1.5 million damage, 6 kills, not too bad. And we even had a guy who didn't even drop in, so it was pretty close considering that. Anyways, so my final thoughts. We really only had the two things to test this test server, and that was the Hussar, which is the medium version of the Dragoon, and the Avalanche, which is the heavy version of the Tulumbus. The Hussar, it's hard to tell considering I only had it on my Ares and it was only 2 slots. I do suspect it's probably still a little bit overpowered, and I say that because of the Spectre. And you put the Hussar on a Spectre with 600 meters range. It's yet another sniping setup for the Spectre. It's extremely hard to balance a medium slot weapon in War Robots because of the sole problem of the Spectre. If you didn't have the Spectre, it would be a lot easier to balance because a lot of other bots only have 1 or 2 medium weapon slots. Or 3, I guess you could say, because the Heishi and the Al Guang have 3. But the Spectre is the only bot in the entire game that has 4. So while you might be able to balance it for pretty much all other bots in the game, you put it on a Spectre and it's instantly overpowered. You look at how the Pulsars are right now, it's overpowered on a Spectre. Orkans aren't too bad because it is a short burst, and most people can get to cover and only get hit by partial splash damage. But beyond that, you even put 4 ions on a Spectre and it can be deadly. Whereas you don't see anybody running ions on anything else. The Spectre really is probably the problem of the game when it comes to having medium weapons. But anyways, I am trying to take that into consideration, that while it might seem balanced on some of the other bots like the Ares, etc., and putting them on a Spectre, it would be, I think, a little bit too overpowered for that bot. The Avalanche, I wouldn't run it on any of my bots. It's too long of a reload. It still doesn't do enough damage, even though they did buff it in this test server. But that's my opinion. You're, of course, are able to have your own, and that's perfectly fine. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you have any suggestions or questions, I'll try my best to answer them. But anyways, that is my test server for this weekend. And so if you like this video, this content, please leave me comments and ideas below. And like the video. And until next time, cause some mayhem in the field for me.